Here's the latest from Force 13, Hurricane Danielle, and she remains near stationary or stationary. The National Hurricane Centre's current advisory indicates that she's located 37.9 degrees north, 43.5 degrees west. This is about 895 miles or 1445 kilometres west of the Azores. Maximum sustained winds 75 miles per hour, 120 kilometres an hour. She is stationary and minimum central pressure is 992 millibars. At 9 p.m. GMT, the centre Hurricane Danielle was located as mentioned, and the hurricane is expected to meander over the open Atlantic during the next couple of days. Then Danielle is forecast to slowly turn towards the northeast early next week. Maximum sustained winds are near 75 miles per hour, 120 kilometres an hour, with higher gusts. A little more strengthening is forecast during the next couple of days or so. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 15 miles, 30 kilometres from the centre, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 115 miles or 185 kilometres. And as mentioned, central pressure is 992 millibars. And whilst we look at various information available from the National Hurricane Centre, a satellite presentation of Danielle has degraded some this afternoon. Dry mid-level air appears to have wrapped into the circulation, and the cyclone or hurricane now has more of a banded structure around the western and southern portions of the system. Recently, infrared cloud top temperatures have cooled with a small ring of inner core convection. Based on a blend of the two subjective VORAC estimates from SAB-TAFB, the initial intensity is held at 65 knots. Danielle, as mentioned, is near stationary, and it remains under a weak steering currents with a blocking high pressure ridge position over the North Atlantic. The cyclone is expected to meander or drift slowly westward over the next couple of days as the ridge weakens and retreats westward. Danielle should begin moving northeastward, more typical mid-latitude flow by Monday. Then the cyclone is forecast to gradually accelerate northeastward during the middle of next week. The track guidance has shifted considerably to the left this cycle, and the latest NHC track forecast has been adjusted in this direction towards the HFIP corrected consensus. The upwelling of cooler water underneath slow-moving Danielle is likely to prevent much strengthening in the near term. However, the deep layer of shear is expected to remain weak for the next couple of days. However, there is still potential for a bit of strengthening, and if Danielle is able to drift further west of its current position by 72 hours, Danielle is forecast to cross the 26 Celsius isotherm and move into a more highly sheared environment, which is expected to induce a weakening trend through the rest of the forecast period. The latest NHC intensity forecast has been lowered from the previous one and lies near or just below the various model consensus aids. Around day 5, Danielle is forecast to interact with an upper level trough.